So here is the article that's up on our Patreon group. Jordan Love, the underrated MVP contender. You know, it's funny, at the end of the year in 2023, and that's what this article is really going to key in on, he was the best quarterback in the league those last 9 games. Last eight of the last 9 games, if you group the whole 9 in, his numbers were off the charts. So those throws that we just mentioned, you can find them on our Patreon page. They're right there. Everything's edited up, cut up for you. Let's go ahead and jump into the article. It says, what if the best quarterback in the NFL for the back half of the 2023 season wasn't Mahomes, Jackson, or Allen, but a guy with a plus 50,000 MVP odds, ranked 41st in the league? This is Jordan Love's story in Green Bay. Over the last 9 games of 2023, Jordan Love didn't just emerge from Aaron Rodgers' shadow, he cast his own. While media hyped the usual stars, Love delivered one of the most dominant quarterback stretches in recent memory. Stats, film, and results prove he wasn't just a game manager, but a legit MVP contender in his first full season as a starter. The before, a franchise in flux, it says the 2023 Packers were a team in transition. Aaron Rodgers, a 4-time MVP, was traded to the Jets, leaving Jordan Love, a 2020 first rounder with 3 years on the bench as the starter. With the NFL's youngest receiving core and low expectations, the goal was to evaluate Love. Early on, it was rough. After a 2-5 start, including a 3-interception game against the Raiders, doubts grew. At 3-6, GM Brian Gutekunst called the final 10 games crucial. The pressure was immense. You know, we don't talk about that enough. For the stretch run that he had at the end of the 2023 season, Tim, he had all the weight of the world on his back, dude. Like, he's playing for his career those last 8 games. If he just continues at the rate he was going, he's probably a backup somewhere right now. But what did he do, man? He met that pressure head on and attacked it and had one hell of the ending of the season there.
Oh, yeah. Totally explains the boat race down in Jerry World, right?
Oh, yeah. Fired up. The explosion of statistical surge. Love's turnaround was remarkable. The Packers went 6-2 in their final 8 regular season games, securing a playoff spot in the last 9 games, including the wild card win. Love threw for 2,294 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions with a 112.5 passer rating. That's a 17-game pace of 4,300 yards and 40 touchdowns, MVP territory. He led the league with 9 games of multiple touchdowns and 0 interceptions. From week 9, his PFF passing grade of 90.7 topped the NFL. In the playoffs, he torched the Cowboys, going 16 for 21 for 272 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a 157.2 rating in a 48-32 rout. All right.
Belt to ass, baby.
I'm going to need that image, Tim, if you could put that up there, because I think somebody taught him the belt to ass ratio there, and that was head coach Matt LaFleur. It says more than just the numbers, the tape. The film reveals Love's elite play against Detroit on Thanksgiving. He slid in the pocket under pressure, delivering a 30-yard laser to Christian Watson. Versus Kansas City, he froze a safety with his eyes before a no-look touchdown to Romeo Doubs. In the playoffs against Dallas, he stood tall against a 0 blitz, and might I add, completely changed the play at the line of scrimmage and checked to, I think it was it Dontavion Wicks, I think it was, in the playoffs? Yeah, lofting a perfect pass to Dontavion Wicks for a huge gain despite taking a hit. I believe, if I remember correctly, that was our boy Micah Parsons smacking him in the mouth as he stood in there and made that throw. These plays show poise, precision, and arm talent akin to the NFL's best. All right, what flipped the switch? Love's growth, coaching adjustments, and a maturing roster fueled the surge. He cut turnovers dramatically, throwing just 1 interception in the final 8 regular season games. Coach Matt LaFleur simplified reads with more play action and tailored routes to the young receiver's strengths. Players like Jaden Reed and Aaron Jones stepped up, building chemistry with Love. The offense went from stagnant to explosive. And Jacob, we're talking about this because we couldn't see as much play action last year because of the knee. And I'm telling you, when we do the chalk talk here in a second, Jacob, you're going to be able to see if you get to watch it back. I know you got to run here in a minute, but you're going to notice him limping.
I'm going to stick around.
He's limping on every damn play. Yep. And it's amazing how people are saying he's not hurt anymore. Stop using that as an excuse. Like, the dude throws.
Yeah, what do you mean? He picked up another injury because he was playing on a bad leg.
And he throws a pass on the run against Jacksonville. I think he lobs it up to Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft breaks a tackle and takes it like 60 yards. If you watch Jordan, and he's off screen on our Chalk Talk segment, But as he throws that pass, he just face plants on the ground because he cannot put the pressure back on his leg. Dude was a damn animal out there, Jake.
Yeah, I think that one of and it's unfortunate because there are now all of a sudden, I think it's the internet era, whatever the thing is, that there's a certain sector of Packers fans where they just want to hate on whatever they can hate on. And I feel like that he does not get enough credit because we went from the Iron Man, Brett Favre, obviously, like nobody was ever going to take away the fact that dude's a freaking baller, right? Then we went to Aaron Rodgers, who quietly was the same type of player. Like, I mean, look at my knee. I mean, homie's ready to get some medicine and come right back out on the field, let's say, and absolutely give it everything he had. And Aaron Rodgers played through
my knee.
Exactly. He played through multiple seasons, multiple games where he didn't say I'm injured until the press pestered him into saying, yeah, dude, like, all right, fine, I'm injured. Like, I'm not that healthy. I feel like Jordan Love has played through arguably more, I shouldn't say more, maybe an enough amount of games where the fact where like nobody gives a crap if he's hurt, but he's hurt. He's clearly hurt. And nobody's giving him his flowers. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not saying that, hey, you're like that. You're a third in line of like just being an Iron Man. You're doing what you have to do. I think he's quietly put out that confidence to the point where the teammates know that he is that type of player, and they're going to play for him. And I think that he deserves a little more credit in that aspect.
Cheese Mode activated in the chat said he could be a dual threat quarterback, and I think we'll see more of that this year.
Yes.
As Ed Madden said, CMA, I agree. He ran much more in 2023. I mean, you're talking about plays where he's diving in the end zone on his freaking head against Minnesota, stretching across the pylon. You did not see that last year. And one of the things we were excited about, listen, when you lose a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, you go from arguably the best thrower of the football in the history of the game to an unproven commodity in Jordan Love. The first thing you think is, okay, what can you gather out positively? What can he do that Aaron can't do? Because there can't be many things. But that one aspect was the RPR game, the run, pass, run option, right? That six-back offense. That was gone last year because week one hurting that knee. So I'm excited to get that back this year for sure. It goes on to say the what if and the future. Love's 9-game stretch, 21 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a playoff upset puts him in the MVP conversation. He accounted for over 85% of Green Bay's offensive touchdowns. I repeat, 85% of Green Bay's offensive touchdowns, showing his value. While Lamar Jackson earned MVP, Love's run demands recognition. If his late season form is his baseline, he's not just the Packers' future. He's a potential NFL superstar. And the reason we want to point that out, guys, is because last year, again, he's playing banged up. Last year might be the norm. That's possible. I think everybody here is acknowledging that. But also, you've got to take into consideration that the back half of 2023 could be the norm as well when he's healthy. And if that's the case, hell, if it's somewhere in between there, Jordan Love threw for over 30 touchdowns last year. The problem was he had 11 interceptions, right? You clean that up with his receiving core leading the league in drops. If you reduce the drops by a third, just by 33%, let's just say that, right? And Jordan Love is healthy to where he can implement a little more running game into his style of play. And let's say he cuts the interceptions down to 7 or 8. This team is going to win 2 or 3 more games. It's can I just like that to me is the craziest part is that, dude, he had the youngest wide receiver core for most of his career. He had the most drops from a wide receiver core in this last season. He didn't have the ability to run. He had a groin injury. He had a knee injury. He had all these kinds of things. The dude was still spectacular in certain moments. Like, we need to give him more time, more credit, more like the Jordan Love is a baller. I really do think that he's going to absolutely make us look like make certain fans, I should say, look like stupid people because of the fact that they're calling him out. The guy he like you said, Clayton, he turned it on when the adversity hits him, and he likes it, and he's got ice through his veins. He doesn't give a crap about being a celebrity or whatever the kind of thing is. This dude. He's the real deal. We just have to have him in an optimum situation.
I think it's like that clip you shared with us on the group chat. You know, Aaron Rodgers talking about the quarterback position, and you know, it's really something that you play from the ground up, and it's about your feet and your legs.
Yeah.
So if you take that into consideration, and I would not be a person, by the way, that would argue. I would unequivocally say that Aaron Rodgers is the greatest thrower of the football ever to walk the face of the earth. 100%. But I will say this: you take Jordan Love's season last year, and you take his legs out, and he's not able to play football from the ground up at the quarterback position, you're left with, gee, I hope this pocket lasts because I got nowhere to go with the football and I can't run out of here. I think you're going to see a whole different ball game from Jordan. This will be the year. I'm going to take Clayton's statement. I think he's going to start where the 2023 Jordan Love ended. I think he's going to come out guns a-blazing, and we're going to start fast. We're going to start strong. We're going to start well, and it's going to be a hell of a ride this year. This may be the true coming out party for Jordan Love this year.
Yeah, and when you look at his PFF grades in 2023, you could see where the team struggled early, right? And I will mention, when we broke down the tape, something else we do here at PTA, if you're new here, we do Chalk Talk segments after every game, usually by Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll break down the top plays from that game, both good and bad. What happened? Why did it happen? Why did the game turn out the way it did? If it was a win, we'll show you why they won. If it was a loss, we'll show you why they lost, what went awry. The one thing I remember us talking about consistently was he's trying to force the ball to Christian Watson when they struggled early. And then they started spreading the ball around and things really blew up. So going through his PFF grades in 2023, 62, 65, 63, 68, 53. At this point right here in week 5, after that 3-interception game in Vegas, I remember thinking, boy, I don't know. This might not be the dude. Then it's 60, 63, 83, 74, 65, 86 at Detroit, 91 against Kansas City, the reigning Super Bowl champions. Then back down to a 58, 66, then rebound 77, 90, 83, 92 at Dallas. His highest PFF grade on the season was the most pressure-packed game, a playoff game on the road with 100,000 screaming Dallas Cowboy fans down there in the Big D. And he came out and had a 92.5 PFF grade with a 91.8 passer grade. And then, of course, the divisional playoff game against San Francisco, he had a 54, kind of took a step back. You get your first playoff game under your belt. You get your ass kicked on the road in San Fran. I remember watching that game. It wasn't even really a butt kicking. Like, it came down to the wire. No. I remember watching the game, and Brock Purdy goes out on the field, and he takes them down, and they score. And I'm like, oh, God. And I pulled up the weather app. And I looked at the weather, and I was like, oh, you could see the rain just about to hit. And sure enough, as soon as Jordan Love goes on the field, the rain starts pouring down. Listen, it's not an excuse, but it's like, I remember thinking, all right, if he pulls this off in the weather, we got Brett Favre 2.0. You remember back in the weather days, back in the 90s, when Brett would just go out there and play lights out in bad weather. So there's where you see he finished the season with an 83.6 PFF grade, if I remember correctly.
Real quick, let's not forget in that San Francisco game that he almost did. I mean, we were there. We would all love the late over the middle throwback. I'm sure Jordan would love that throwback as well. But hey, I'd rather go out like that than playing too conservative and you end up playing not to lose instead of playing to win. So I'll take a guy trying to will his team to victory.
Yeah. Now here, let's jump ahead to last year. Here's the PFF grades from 2024. All right. Week 1, he hurts that knee. He scores a 64.6. You would hear people talk about Jordan Love as if he was one of the worst quarterbacks in the league last year. Listen to these grades last year. 64, 69, 44 was his lowest game there, week 5 at the LA Rams, okay? Then he jumps to a 72, 72, 74, 68, 73, 63, 77, 83. On the road in Detroit, he had his highest score of an 83.8. Played his best football on the road in Detroit. Then a 66, 68, 72, 61, and then the 54 on the road in Philly there in the wild card game. So when you look at his season-by-season PFF grades, 2021 he had 62 attempts, right? So I don't even know what his total snaps were, but he only had 70 dropbacks, 36, right? It's like, okay, you just throw that out the window. You don't even know what you really have. 2022, only 21 dropbacks. He jumps to a 78, but you got to think it's a small sample size. In 2023, with 689 dropbacks, his PFF grade was an 83.6, and then battling three injuries, one on his nerve damage in his throwing arm where he hit his elbow. He had the hammy issue that was a byproduct of the brace and everything, him trying to battle through the knee injury from week 1. He still had a PFF grade of 75.8. Like, telling you, man, if anything, he proved that he's willing to play through pain and play through an injury and still compete at a pretty high level. If we get back to that 83.6 this year with Josh Jacobs in the backfield, now you got a healthy Marshawn Lloyd who's going to help kind of carry that running back by committee in the number 2 role with Emmanuel Wilson. You got Christian Watson who's looking like he's going to be back early November, but you spend a first-round pick for the first time since 2002 in Matthew Golden that we just broke down a few minutes ago. You got him on the outside. You've got Jaden Reed, who's one of the most underrated wide receivers in the entire league. He had the highest passer rating when targeted of any wide receiver in the league last year. Wow. Think about that. I mean, I'm telling you, you got your F is situated. If you hit on Matthew Golden at Z, he's kind of carrying the water until Christian Watson gets back. You got Steady Eddie Romeo Dobbs playing in the X. If we can get Dontavion Wicks to step back up to his rookie form where he graded out in the 70s, according to PFF his rookie year, sky's the limit. Oh, I didn't even mention Tucker Kraft. Telling you. So, yes, I think there is a legit shot that Jordan Love, when we look up halfway through the season, if he's healthy, you're going to be looking up and going, he's in the MVP conversation. And I'm going to tell you the big reason I feel like that is because a man by the name of Matt LaFleur is going to be calling the plays and drawing up this scheme for Jordan Love. So
it's going to be so exciting to see him play with his legs underneath him again.
Yeah.
I think one of the things Jordan always did really well was knowing when it's time to tuck it and run and when not to. When to roll flat, stay behind that line, extend the play, beat him with your arm if you can. If not, I'm going to commit and run the ball. Some guys are run-heavy quarterbacks, right? We see those guys. They get the ball. They're looking to run. Jordan's not that guy. It's like he's a pocket passer with extreme mobility, I guess would be the way to put it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, boys, anything else on Jordan Love before we jump into the tape? We're going to break down a little Jordan Love chalk talk here. Anything
just
else?
Real quick, Ron just was exactly describing what Tim was just talking about. He says Love's metrics struggles can be traced to somewhat to injuries, no legs. Once he gets those legs underneath him, dude, I'm really excited to see what he's going to do. Also, Emilio is texting us in the group chat.